Think about your business structure almost as though it's the foundation of your business. Without the right foundation, you are basically throwing money down the drain. And at the very worst, you risk completely losing that business altogether. Now, if you're starting a business, I appreciate that there are multiple business structures that you need to think about. And starting a business, especially in the UK, there are various types of business structures that you have to choose from. You have sole trader, you have general partnerships, LLPs, limited companies, and so much more. So where exactly do you start? How do you know what you need to be thinking about when it comes to having a solid business structure to run your business with? So this is what we're going to be talking about in today's video. In today's video, I'm going to be touching on the key factors, the key points of considerations you should be thinking of when you are structuring your business to give you the best outcome possible. And if this is your first time here, my name is Tess and I'm a qualified accountant based here in the UK, and I help entrepreneurs and business owners like yourself to grow and thrive in their businesses. If you ever want to work with us, then please do make sure you check the links below, or indeed visit our website for more information. The first point of consideration you're going to want to think about is going to be, what level of legal obligation and legal risk am I prepared to take as a business owner venturing into this business? Because as a sole trader, for instance, or indeed if you have a general partnership structure, there is no separation between you and that business. You as a sole trader will be personally liable for any business debts, any business obligations that that particular business fails to meet. And this will put you in a very high position of risk. So this is something you want to think about. On the flip side, however, if you were to opt for a business structure such as a limited liability partnership or a limited company, for instance, then your level of personal legal obligation will be much lower, because there is that separation, there's that protection in terms of the limited liability factor of these structures compared to having your business in a sole trader format, or indeed running your business through a general partnership format. So this is going to be your first point of consideration. How happy are you with how much legal risk you will have on your shoulders if there were issues within this business in the future? The second point you want to consider here is going to be around taxes. We cannot talk about business structures without talking about your taxes. So the first thing you're going to need to understand is that taxes and the amount that you pay in taxes is going to be different depending on what business structure it is you choose to run your business with. There are certain types of business structures in the UK that are far more tax efficient than others. But to be very honest with you, as an accountant, it also depends on what your individual circumstance is, and of course ultimately what your business's objectives is, both now and in the future. So when it comes to taxes, if you choose to run your business as a sole trader, or indeed if you choose to run your business through the general partnership structure, then those kind of structures will be liable to paying personal income tax, because personal income tax is structured slightly differently. Because with personal income tax, the more income you earn, the more tax it is that you will pay. Whereas if you had a limited company, by contrast, limited company tax rates will start anywhere from about 19%, depending on what your profit is in that company, and can go up to as much as 25%. But for the vast majority of people, it will start from the 19% threshold. Your next point to consider is going to be, how big do I want this business to grow? Where am I looking to take this business to in the next, say, 2, 3, even 5 years from now? And that's going to really help you when it comes to trying to think about what will be the best structure to structure my business on. So if you are a sole trader, you're going to be very limited, in terms of when it comes to planning to expand your business. I'm going to be very transparent with you here. As a sole trader, it is comparatively difficult to expand and grow your business if you are a sole trader compared to if you have your business running in a limited company. This is purely because a lot of contractors, a lot of banks, a lot of lenders, okay, will typically only want to do businesses, sign contracts, give grants, etc., to businesses who are operating within a limited company structure. So you are going to be heavily limiting yourself to how much growth and scale you can actually give to your business if you actually did not choose the right business structure from the very start. So this is a point of consideration that I think many business owners fail to take into account of, and then years later they find, oh my God, my business is actually doing really well and I think I want to expand it, I want to take it to the next level, but then they are then limited, they're hindered by the type of structure it is that they started that business with. So I would say if you are going to grow your business, if you have any plans whatsoever to really take this business seriously, then you want to try and structure it the right way from the very beginning. Now, the next point of consideration to think about is going to be the administrative costs. So how easy are these structures to set up? How easy is the structure that you are looking to start your business with to set up? So this is something to consider because of course cost is going to be a major factor as well as time. Okay, so if you're a sole trader, it's going to be relatively straightforward. I mean, the process is quite simple. You simply start running your business, you inform HMRC that you're a sole trader. I do have a video on this on my channel already, but essentially the process is quite straightforward. It's not quite as complicated as it is when it comes to running your business through, maybe a limited company structure or through a limited liability partnership structure. So these other types of structures will inevitably require more time, more costs, and the administrative expense side of things will in comparison be much higher than when it comes to running your business as a sole trader. Okay, so that is another point of consideration to think about. The next point of consideration to think about is going to be funding. Now, at some point of you running that business, you might require a business loan. You might require business grants, okay? You might require, investment within your company. How are you going to do this? What sort of structure is going to make it much easy for you to obtain this business funding? Now, I will tell you from experience that in my experience working with clients, okay, as an accountant, it is generally comparatively much easier for you to obtain business funding if you have a company, okay, if you have a limited company structure that is linked to that business. It is very difficult for you to do this if you're running your business in a sole trader structure. As a sole trader, it's much more difficult. So these are some of the key things and considerations that you want to factor in when it comes to thinking about starting that business. You're not just thinking about, I want to start a business today. You want to be looking forward, okay, and planning ahead as to what are the key things that you might require, okay, and how does that business structure that you're looking to utilize to start your business with, how is that going to support your business in the future rather than hinder your business in the future? So these are some key points to think about. And like I said before, these key points will ultimately need to be taken into consideration, as well as some other points which I've not mentioned in this video. It's important to remember that each business structure is not a one-size-fits-all, okay? Some of the factors I've mentioned in this video might be applicable to you and some of them might not be applicable to you. At the end of the day, if you are a non-resident UK director, there are going to be much broader factors. There are other factors not mentioned in this video that you will need to take into consideration, okay? But the factors mentioned in this video are the key things that I think the vast majority of people will definitely need to think about. So if you are struggling to actually determine what the best structure might be to help you either start your business here in the UK, or indeed expand your business into the UK. You know, you might have a business abroad currently, but you want to actually expand that business in the UK, then do make sure you use the links in the description box below to give us a call, send us an email, and we can help you actually make the best decision for your business.